Metals Exploration Limited, or MEX, despite the name, was not involved in exploring for metals at all, but was a vehicle for undertaking corporate takeovers. Those who were directing MEX had their eyes on Samic as a takeover target, primarily because it had cash assets which they could then use to make further takeovers on other companies. Under the current Corporations Act, an entity which is making a takeover bid is required to file a bidder's statement under Section 636. Under the legislation in place at the time of this case, the equivalent was known as a Part C statement. MEX filed a Part C statement which was quite vague and misleading. The Part C statement said, "It is the intention of MEX to identify investments for Samic which will earn a higher yield than existing bank deposits, with the ultimate objective of increasing the value of shareholders' interests in Samic." This was a very clever way of saying, we are going to take all of the money out of the bank and use it for corporate takeovers. Chief Justice King in the Supreme Court of South Australia didn't hold back. He said that if the MEX directors had given the slightest thought to the interest of the Samic shareholders in receiving adequate information on which to make a decision, they would have realised that their statement was misleading and did not comply with the legal requirements. In the absence of a deliberate intention to disclose as little as possible, the content of the Part C statement can only be explained by a total and reckless indifference on the part of those preparing and authorising it to the need of the Samic shareholders for adequate information. It would seem that any sense of obligation to make a candid disclosure of the material facts required by Section 750 was overwhelmed by their interest in bringing the takeover process to a successful consummation. As a result of this failure, in order to protect the integrity of the takeover process, the court forced MEX to dispose of all of the shares they had purchased since producing the inadequate Part C statement. From this case, we learn that the bidder's statement for a takeover must be a genuine attempt to provide shareholders with the information they require to make a proper and informed decision as to whether to accept the takeover offer.